When you are finished knitting bay, you will notice that the neckline already looks pretty clean because of the slope bind off here. But you'll also notice that one edge, the left edge, looks a lot cleaner than the other edge because there's this break where the bind off was worked in opposite directions. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to correct for that. I'm going to be using two different needles for this. The first one is a blunt tip needle with a little bit of a bent tip, and the other is a pointy needle that's straight. I'm going to start with the bent tip because the first part of what I'm going to do, I don't want to be accidentally splitting the threads of the yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle. The goal here is to close up that gap by creating something that looks the same as the bound off stitches on the top of the neckline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through both legs of the first bound off stitch on this side here. And then I'm going to pull that and go through both legs of the first bound off stitch back on this side here and pull that tight. You don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want to create a pucker, but pull it enough that it looks similar to the other stitches around it. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my other needle. The reason I'm switching to this needle now is because in weaving in the ends, I do actually want to split the yarn because that will keep it more secure than if I don't split the threads. So now that my needle is threaded, behind the loop that we created on the back of the work, I'm going to stick the tip of this sharp needle point through pieces of the yarn, through the purl bumps on the wrong side of the work, intentionally splitting the yarn as we go to really get it to hold that grip. And if you happen to be using a wool, which I am not, but if you are, it will also felt more easily and really hold on to your ends if you split the fibers like this. So, pull this through. And make sure, again, that that first stitch that you created isn't too tight, so there's no puckering. And here we have the neckline joined and closed.